Welcome to a live stream courtesy of the Gate 7 International Podcast, your official international source for all things Olympiakos FC and Greek football. My name is Peter Thompson. I'm here with our esteemed member of the blog team, the new Gate 7 International blog team, Stephen Kuduru, also with Elas Footy. We're going to do a little bit of a chat with the PAOK game coming up. The lineups have just dropped. Feel free to send in your comments, what you think. But, I mean, what's your first reaction here, Stephen? My first thing is we get to see the man himself, the man, the myth, the legend. He's back. There's no way we can lose with him in the team. We've got Avram playing in center back, Ba and Semedo, both not in the squad entirely, given a day off. I'm glad they're getting a rest and happy to see Avram throw his body around for 90 minutes there. It should be fun.
Yeah, it's a good point, actually, Peter. I've just realised on the substitute bench there is no other centre-backs at all. So it is going to be Socrates, Holebas and Avram for the whole game by the looks of it.
The only way it won't be is if Martins wants to move Villa or Bouchalakis back, or if he wants to play Lala in there as well. But a back three with Holebas and Lala in it is a bit suspect.
Or he switches to a back four potentially.
Could do, yeah.
Two-man centre-backs. It's going to be an interesting one. It's not hugely rotated by the looks of it, apart from Avram being the big one. And I guess Holebas has been in and out of the team. You know, he's been left back, he's been left centre-back. It is a strong team at the end of the day. And I guess it's because it's against PAOK, even though the title's all done and dusted. I guess he wants to keep trying up the 3-4-3 with a strong team and play his best possible 11 for the next season to see how this formation goes, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, we know Martins is never fond of the rotation there. So it doesn't surprise me a ton that we're not seeing a whole lot of it. I would have, and we were talking about this off camera, would have loved to see a little bit of youth players on the bench. We don't even have Tsolakis on the bench today, actually, which is like a minor interesting note. It's Christensen instead. Of course, it really doesn't mean anything. But, I mean, once again, it's like Thiago Silva and Kuipers. Do we need them on the bench there?
Rangelovic as well. Rangelovic, I imagine, will come on at some point.
Lazar in the 80th minute.
Yeah, to do some step overs and let the ball go out for a throw, potentially. Yep. My favorite tactic. I hope we see some more of Fruzai now that he's fully fit. Obviously, we don't want to risk him too much, but I really, really want to see Marios Fruzai. Interesting, Valbuena's not started much lately. I guess he's trying to cover him up in some.
I think
and keep him fit.
I think they're keeping him rested for Europe, and I think it's probably a good idea. But looking at PAOK as well, they're doing their back three. They've got Pascalakis in goal, which is good news for us. Back three of Crespo, Ingason, and Villarreal. And then Rodrigo and Baba on the wing backs. Baba, the lone player in from Chelsea, who has pretty much been in the team.
He's impressed. From what Elena said on Hellas Football, he's been fairly decent.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting. He hasn't played first-team football in a while, so I guess it's good for them that he's actually been, putting up some good results. But the midfield has Schwab and Douglas Augusto, and then Zivkovic, El Kadori, and Swiderski. Interesting team for sure. a bit surprised to see Swiderski in the lineup, although he did score in his last game, so maybe that's why he's gotten the nod.
Essentially, over Merg, he tends to play up front as well, doesn't he?
Yeah, and I mean, it's a strong bench for PAOK. They've got Murg, they've got Zolis, they've got Warda, and they've got the Kremenchik, the bald man up there as well, who can come in and play up top as well. So interesting team for PAOK. They obviously want this one. They're still fighting for that European spot. They want bragging rights. Pablo Garcia wants to talk shit after the game. But I think we can still get it. And yeah, I mean, while I want to see rotation in younger players, I also especially now that like with the podcast, like if we lose to PAOK, it's like our DMs and our mentions are just like full of PAOK fans.
Yeah.
Just like suck it. And so it's like, in a way, I'm not mad because it gives us a good chance of winning. However, and I mean, maybe I won't spoil my prediction just yet, but I could very well see a little bit of hangover after the trophy here for Olympiakos.
Well, especially they were given a few days off, weren't they, the players after the win? I don't think they've been as hard in training as they normally would be for a game like this against PAOK.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I'm kind of in two minds because at the end of the day, we've officially wrapped up the title. We can now say, the title is won. But at the end of the day, you still want to see a team go out there and win these games, even though you may not be as upset as you would be under normal circumstances. So I'll be disappointed if we lose. Obviously, I want Olympiakos to be PAOK every day of the week. But at the same time, it almost doesn't matter. It matters more for PAOK because they're the ones pushing for Europe.
Yeah, we've got a friendly on our hands. It's sad.
Yeah, exactly what Garcia wanted as well.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think it's crazy because the Champions League summer qualifiers are going to come up faster than we think. And so I really do hope Martins has that in mind. And I think he does for players like Valbuena and maybe even Vrusai as well. Like Vrusai did have a tough injury and while I want to see him in their team, there's no point in rushing him back for games that don't matter.
Yeah, I guess
we'll need him in July.
It's lesser to the extent of what happened with Kostas Fortounis, where it took him over a season to come back properly and look more or less like how he was before his injury. And like you said, it probably is now a safer bet now. There's no real risk other than us fighting for a domestic double for us to risk players who are just coming back from injury. Yeah,
I like this comment from Alex Nego. Maybe Martins thought that if we lose, Garcia stays, so I'm fine with the lineup. Avram is going to come in and get sent off or something, and then PAOK are going to win.
He'll score and then get sent off.
Yes, big header on a corner. But
now that I said that it'll happen.
Stephen, I want to get to something you said. It might have been before we started going live, but right now, I feel like it's just I want to be able to see players and that we haven't seen a lot of. And one of those guys is Lala. And I mean, I was really excited when we signed him. I still think he can be really good for our team. I love Androutsos, and I think he's been amazing. And if we have to have a game that matters right now, I think you play Androutsos, especially with the formation we have right now. But Lala is fast. He can get up the pitch. He can defend. He looks really good with the ball at his feet, taking players on. I think it's just a matter of comfort. And we're going to need him next year, even with Androutsos in the team. We're going to need him for rotation and for that experience that he has playing in the French league. So I really want to see more of him. I feel like he could be really important for the qualifiers. And he's going to need to get some run in the team here. Plus, eventually, we need to have the conversation of Androutsos needing a rest. He's young, but he's playing a whole lot. Yeah, we don't want to have to worry about that. I mean, imagine if the guy gets injured and then we have to go spend money on a second right back, or I guess Drager's still around, so maybe we won't buy another. But I always forget he's alive. He hasn't made the bench today either, of course. That guy is just he's surely going out in the summer.
Maybe on loan, yeah, potentially. I
He
mean, the
wasn't
thing with-
awful. He just wasn't. He just
He
wasn't that
wasn't
good.
awful. I think the problem with Drager was he just didn't show enough. And I think at a time when we had obviously Rafinha, who was a bit divisive with some Olympiakos fans, and his performances may have been a tad inconsistent. Maybe that was the time for him to really push and prove himself. But you know,
Yeah, he had
Andrutsos
that
was the one who
chance.
emerged. Now I think people, despite Drager maybe not getting his chances at times when he maybe should have taken them, Andrutsos has taken those chances instead. And we you know, obviously there's a bit of Greek bias there because we are a Greek team at the end of the day. We want to see our young Greek players who have that prospect to play. So I'm happy that Andrutsos is playing, and Drager, you know, alone might suit him. There's a couple other players that you and me have both talking about before in the team that probably need a loan. And yeah, I think Lala as well. He just hasn't played since he got sent off. It's weird. Ever since he got sent off against Aris, he just hasn't. I think he was he obviously had to serve his suspension, but he was on the bench. I don't think he came on at all.
Yeah, let me have a look. He played against Yanina, but he started and was subbed off at halftime. And then he wasn't even on the bench for Panathinaikos.
Yeah, and again, it's like a similar thing. I'm happy that Andrutsos is getting these chances, but we brought in Lala, obviously not for a lot, considering the market at the time in France, and it's still pretty bad now.
Yeah.
But you know, if you bring in a player with the quality and the experience of Lala, and statistically, he showed to be one of the best right backs in France at the time. So I would like to see Lala play a bit more. Whether he can play on both wings or not, I don't know. Maybe, but then he
came on the left at the end of that Arsenal game. But like you say, like we don't need anyone really on the left either. The thing, I mean, it's two things for me. Like maybe it's the formation, as in he's not really big enough, and he's pretty big for a fullback, but like he's not like the ball playing type to be in the back three. Player. Like Holebas, I think, does it better because he can sort of be a ball playing center back, and Holebas is pretty big. But it might be a formation thing in the sense that Martins isn't comfortable playing him in the wing back or in the third center back, and so there's more chances for him if we use a 4. But I also worry that there's something going on behind the scenes, which I mean it doesn't I feel like it's not, but when you see him just not playing when there's ample opportunity for him to play, it kind of makes you think maybe something happened that's weird. And I don't think, and I feel like it's not related to the red card either, because to be honest with you, the red card wasn't even that harsh.
No,
I'm not going to say, oh, he shouldn't have got sent off, whatever, but it wasn't an egregious, he had intent of he wanted to it wasn't a bad sportsmanship thing. And so I just he's an older player. I wouldn't expect him to be causing trouble. He knows Valbuena and Villa from their time in France. I assume he gets it in terms of what he's here to do, but it's just very surprising that he's not getting the chance that one might expect from him.
Maybe it is Martin's way of challenging him, saying, look, this kid, Andrutsos, is in front of you now. You now have to fight to get your position back. You have to prove yourself in training. You have to prove yourself when you're given opportunities to do so. And if you perform better, because as we all know, Martin's, once he has a system and he has the players that he wants to play in those set positions, he rarely strays from that. So now that Andrutsos is proving himself, it's now up to Lala to prove himself. And like we both said, I really want him to play because we have a player of great quality in that position. Maybe it is a formation thing. Maybe he isn't capable of playing as a wing back, but really with his pace and physicality,
he's fast.
Really good. He should be able to, especially if he has less defensive duties and you have a third centre back there to cover you. Surely he'd be good. I don't know. But at the same time, this is a really great dilemma that we've got. It's not like we've got
it's
really big problem at right back.
It's not it's not Rafinha versus Drager from the fall. No. It could be worse. Look at us complaining. Another comment from Alex Nago: we don't have a creative player in the lineup. I mean, I look at I'm saying this to sort of like think about the front three, and I know like he's probably also referencing the fact that Mahdi is out. But I mean, what do you think of the front three that we've seen quite a bit this year, to be fair, of Masouras, Bruma, El Arabi? Like, I'm tired of watching Bruma play. I have to be honest with you. I couldn't really be bothered to see him in the team again. Like, if he stopped playing, I wouldn't really be upset, even if it was like Lazar in his place. And I know like if Lambro is still watching, he's going to be fuming when I say that, but like I've kind of had it with Bruma. But like, I mean, I would prefer to maybe see Fortunis in this team. To start, at least.
I mean, it doesn't matter where Fortunis is playing, as long as he's playing in a position that he can play in. I'll have Fortunis anyway, any day of the week. You know, I love Fortunis, but I think Bruma. I'm more positive about that Bruma than you are, Peter. I'm not a Bruma fan, but I'm like a Bruma fence sitter, where I'm like, I like him and I can see what he does, but then he doesn't always do the things that he's been brought in to do. And so I really like him because because he has all of the things like the qualities to make him a fantastic
These
winger.
are the same things that PSV saw and bought him for like
13
million euros or whatever the hell they spent on him. And then it's just the finishing is so poor from him. Like, shout out to him for scoring the goal against Panathinaikos. Like, that was great. But
such a selfish goal.
The number
he could have passed it.
No, I think they were offside because the keeper's not in the net.
Maybe.
So he had to shoot that. But like, he just passes it to the goalkeeper so many times. Like, he gets a chance and it's just like soft. It's on target, but it's so soft that it's like not difficult for the keeper to get to. So I don't know. It's like he and Lazar are like opposites. Lazar like can't hit the target, just blows it over the bar, but like has the power. And then Bruma just like hits the target, and it's just like too soft to ever be threatening. If we could like,
let's play. Would you be happy playing both of them? Just drop Masouras and play Lazar and Bruma, and then maybe we've won the league.
We've won the league, mate.
Yeah,
but I'm sure we'll see Lazar. I would kind of liked Fortunis. To be fair, like, and maybe it's just a coincidence, but I feel like Bruma plays better when Fortunis plays. Like, maybe it's just because they have a cool handshake whenever one of them scores and they're on the pitch together. But
yeah, they're looking to score an assist just to give each other that handshake every time.
But I think somehow they link up nicely. But I also like Masouras has been pretty brilliant lately.
He's had his 5-6 week purple patch, and then he
always does this. Yeah. Right when you're about to give up hope, he brings this back. This
is what I mean, though. That's what makes Masouras such a frustrating player, because if he could do that consistently, he'd be phenomenal. Like,
to be fair, if he could do that consistently, he's not in our team anymore.
He'd be gone.
He's in the Premier League or something like that.
Yeah, like where Podence went, because Podence found his consistency, and he went straight to Wolves after that.
Because like Masouras, there's so many great things about him. Like, as a winger, physically, he's elite. Like, he's big, he's strong, he's quick, he works incredibly hard. Like, there's so many wingers, and it's not like it's a bad thing to be as small as a winger. Like, obviously, like, Messi is insane, but like, to have like a player out on the wing who can just like physically hang with these bigger defenders and like not be afraid of them, like, that's so big. And of course, like, oftentimes there is the trade-off between size and technical ability. And when Masouras is playing well, like, he can at least get a cross in and like have a tough shot. Like, he genuinely can be so good in those moments when he's playing well.
He's not even the quickest either. That's the thing. He's not like slow. Like, he's not.
No, yeah.
To get going, but he's not. When he's on it, he just times those runs so nicely to receive a ball or like you said, cross the ball in. Yeah,
everything mental with him is very good for me. His decision making, I'd say, is pretty good. Not perfect,
until it
but
isn't.
Pretty good.
Until it isn't.
Well, I'd say overall he makes pretty good decisions, but sometimes he does have some head scratchers. And then of course, like, his mentality and work ethic is like unmatched. Like, we've talked about that many times before.
Yeah.
But Yeah, I mean, maybe it will just have to be El Arabi, or actually, I haven't even checked. Is Hassan on the bench today?
Maybe that's why. I think
Oh no,
is he not?
no, he's not. No Hassan
No,
today.
Hassan. He won us the league, and he's been given the weekend off.
Dude, he's probably he deserves the day off. He
does. To be fair.
By the way, people who are listening, Stephen did a great write up on Hassan and his performances this year, and some of the responding to some of the critics, including Lambro. So
I gotta admit, like 50% of writing that blog was because of Lambro. I just wanted to meme the hell out of that. But also,
it's very well done.
And the thing, he has proved time and time again that he is capable of scoring in big games. You know, and I said it in the blog, like he's such a limited player with what he can bring. He's not a complete forward like El Arabi, but to have a player like that, if you take Hassan out of that team and take away the goals that he scored, you know, we wouldn't be in Europe, and we will have still been top of the league, obviously, but we may not have won the league as quicker if he hadn't got us those points. You know, he comes on, scores a double. You know,
absolutely.
He's had a great season.
Think of all the games that he's saved for us. Like, obviously Panathinaikos, Yanina. Like
I think
so many
came against. I think he scored 2 goals against Orfi as well. Like he scored against Orfi.
He had a brace against Apollon as well. I don't remember.
Scored against Marseille, the goal that. Probably the most important goal, and PSV. Yeah.
No, he's been gargantuan. Like genuinely, him not on the bench is like greatly decreases our probability of scoring, I think. Some people are asking questions about transfer rumors. Is Manola coming back? I haven't heard anything, but would be nice. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I wouldn't say no. I'd love him back. It's been nearly it's been 8 years since he left. 2014. So it's 7 years since he left.
I think Siovas is much more likely, which I would also be very happy about.
Well, it's because it's not even like wishing for Huesca to go down. Like I would never wish a club to get relegated. Maybe give or take 1 or 2.
I would wish for that.
But that's one of the circumstances that Siovas is going to come. It's either they get relegated or we sell one of our 3 main centre backs.
I think Semedo. Well, I mean, we've said so many times like Semedo's gone. There's no other way around it. I mean, it's.
You know, I think the big thing with Semedo, it's nothing to do with his ability.
Oh no, it's in here.
I think it's not even that. I think it's to do with the fact that he's still banned from Spain because all of the big Portuguese clubs are coming out and being like, if we sign this guy, he'll be fantastic. But then if we get a Spanish team in Europe, we're screwed because we can't use him. And I guess it's not like a big thing, but I think that must be taken into account as well. I
mean, here's the thing. Like, it's true. I mean, think about how scared we were to draw Granada in the Europa League. Because, Semedo ended up getting hurt, ironically, anyways. But I think his best fit is at a Premier League club, like a big club where he can be like second or third string center back. Like, I know Liverpool have made some signings, but like I think he would have fit well in their team.
Maybe join his brother Nelson in Wolves potentially.
I mean, even then, although I think he would do well in Wolves. Are they actually brothers? I didn't know that.
Yeah, they're brothers. I think they were both touted as like massive talents, and Nelson went on to Barcelona from Sporting, and Ruben went on to do some things that weren't good, and that's why he's with us. But I think Well,
at least Ruben Semedo hasn't been absolutely destroyed by my guy Alphonso Davies while everyone is watching in the Champions League. Semedo would never do that. But I mean, even, like I think pretty much most Premier League clubs would have a spot for him as like a third string. And I only say that not because like his talent isn't there, but because if you're a European club and you're gonna have to have a plan B for if you draw a Spanish team, and you're gonna want to have 2 other center backs that you're comfortable with. Oh God, Tenos.
He's so Semedo because of the UEFA.
Oh God, maybe that's why no Europa League teams are going to be in for him this summer. Maybe some Champions League clubs. Oh my God, I had no idea.
Well, maybe even some Europa Conference League teams. Who knows?
Ooh, Oh, well, I mean, Ike Europa Conference League. No, I'm just kidding. He's bigger than Ike.
Send him out on loan. No. I'm not saying we're not sending him out on loan to Ike.
Sign Shiovas and loan him out to Ike. People would be fuming. Alex asked us about Loizu.
He asked me about this before. He's fantastic, man. Like I was speaking to
Steven,
Stel from
would know about this guy.
I was talking to Stelios from Shoot the Defense.
Shout out Stel, by the way. Great.
Yeah, he's a massive Omonia supporter, and I've watched Loizu play for Cyprus. Man, he's a talented player. He's really good.
Has he
he's
turned
really young? I think he's going to. He's 17 currently.
Well,
I'm pretty sure
I assume he's going to at some point, unless he,
Oh yeah, I mean, that's how age works, isn't it? Like you go from 17 to 18. I know what you mean. Like soon, I think soon. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure he must be turning 18 soon. But yeah, he's a talent. And I said to Alex, the only worry I have if he ever came to Olympiakos, I just don't want him to get lost in the youth system. I don't want him to get stuck on the bench.
Man, I think it's too early. I think
look at Gosti. Like Gosti is out on loan to Olympiakos, which isn't a bad team to be sent to, but you kind of want him to be sent somewhere, a top division in Europe, somewhere like not a top division, but like just a first division, just anywhere.
Man, if I'm him, I personally don't see why you leave Ammonia. Personally,
they're doing well at the moment. Like,
I mean. He's an amazing talent. Like he would be, he's the type of player he's worth the money if you bring him in. But I mean, I am worried about how we manage young players as well at Olympiakos. Like it has to be said. Like you just said, Steven. Like the worry is there. We're gonna spend. Is he worth the money if he's just gonna never see the light of day in the first team?
That's it. That's exactly.
So, I think this is a really bad move for the kid, to be honest with you, to come here.
He won't play. He won't be in the first team. He's going to be instantly sent out on loan, and that's not me wanting that. That's me knowing that will probably happen. Or I don't know if the under-19s are being played next season, which they probably will be. He'll probably be in there, but then is he really going to get in a look in from the senior squad if he's playing for the youth setup? Man, or just sent back. I don't know. It's tough.
He's too good for Olympiakos U19s as well. Like it has to be said. He's played
he's played
European football. He's played European football already. Like it's. You're right. I agree with you that that's probably what would happen to him. But it would be sad to see him there. So I
didn't realize it's Michael.
Michael had another one. He was making fun of PAOK Villarreal is basically the Holebas.
I hope so, Michael. I hope we do score.
But no, I guess we can get to it because the game is starting soon. And so maybe it's time. I'm gonna have a sad prediction. I'm gonna say we do not score because Hassan's not in the team. Because Fortunis doesn't start, and Madi doesn't start. As Alex Nego said, it's going to be tough to score. But I think PAOK win a penalty and Villarreal scores and we lose 1-0. Pavlos, thank you for joining. I'm feeling a hangover here. I don't know about you. That's just my thought. And I really don't want to see it. From Brayson coming. Oh my God. I would hat
trick.
Lambro had a comment earlier. Chances Avram last the 90. Like I that's the thing as well. Like we said it at the beginning. I'm feeling a torn hamstring at 15 minutes into the game. Just pull
up short. Yeah.
Just who was it against Plzen at the beginning of 2019? When it was Avram coming in and just dies and Ba had to come in and replace him.
I remember. And that was when Ba we first saw him.
We didn't know who Ba was yet.
This kid looks great. Yeah.
Yeah. It was this guy's never played for us before. But no, I mean I think I'm worried about a little hangover here. It might just be a draw, but I feel like I don't see us scoring more than one goal. But I don't know, man. What do you think, Steven?
I think if what has been said is true about us maybe taking a bit more easier in terms of taking a few days off and the squad coming back and then training. Yeah, I'm not going to say we lose because I don't want us to lose. But I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. I think we'll probably concede, but I could see El Arabi getting a goal maybe after Fortunis comes on and adds a bit more creativity. And I'll take that. I'll take a draw. I mean, we won the league, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. I mean, I could see that as well. God, you know what's going to happen too? We're going to draw, and then Pablo Garcia is going to like chat the shit in the post game and be like,
we deserve to win.
They are a small club. Shut up, man.
Great accent. That was fantastic.
You can't beat us. How good is Solis? I think he's pretty good, but it has to be said, against the big teams, he doesn't always produce. He's a bit inconsistent, I would say. I think
being young.
This sort of relates to Loizu as well, like in terms of how to handle young players. I think his best chance is to go abroad. And maybe I've said this before. I think he needs to go to the Netherlands or something. Like, I think if a team like PSV bought him or something like that, I think that's a really good move for his career. I see like Manchester United linked with him. I'm like, dude, don't do that. Like, sorry.
He won't get played over. Like, they're going through a real Brexit sort of let's buy all the English players phase at United.
Yeah,
I can't see it. Like, is he going to get past Mason Greenwood or Rashford on the wing?
He shouldn't. To be honest with you,
he shouldn't. But also, he won't. He won't get given that opportunity.
I mean, we've seen what Holland has done for Tsimikas and Rusai. And in the interest of like the Greek national team being good and just like, you know, wanting to generally, even if it's like a PAOK player, wanting to see Greek players come out and be successful in you know, outside of the Greek league. I think it's best for him to go play in the Netherlands where like he doesn't have to play on a bumpy pitch in La Mia and like play against like much worse players than he like. Even the bad teams in the Netherlands have like very skilled attackers and
you know, they have Giacomakis as well, one of the worst teams.
Exactly. Yeah. So I would take him. I would send him there, maybe to Belgium as well.
They're good for development as well.
Was Bruges linked with him? Is that the club that was
possibly? I think it was Club Brugge that were linked with him, or was it Anderlecht? It's one of the big ones.
That's a good move for him.
Dortmund were linked with him as well. Borussia Dortmund, maybe. I could be wrong. It might be just one of those things where he's young and he's a winger, therefore Dortmund are after him, sort of thing. But yeah.
Well, I don't think he would get into Dortmund either. I could see like a middle tier German team, like Prom here said, like I guess would you consider Wolfsburg middle tier? Like
they kind of
like they can't be that. I should look at the standings actually before I make these claims. I think Wolfsburg are actually doing reasonably well. But let me pull the standings up in the Bundesliga.
Well, as long as it's not, I know Schalke are comfortably bottom, so.
Okay, yeah, Wolfsburg are third. I shouldn't talk badly on their name. They're actually ahead of Dortmund. Oh, Stuttgart are an interesting one. They have Mavropanos in their team.
He's doing really well. I wanted to stay there, man. I know Arsenal fans have been saying
totally.
Really
I couldn't care less about Arsenal.
Greek players just do better in Bundesliga, and they get opportunities as well in the Bundesliga. So
who is? Oh, I know who you're talking about. The random guy who started. I thought he was saying like Gio Reyna, and I was about to be upset because that's my American boy.
Is that Jude Bellingham?
No. Bellingham's 17 and he's fucking world class. He's talking. I forget. I know who he's talking about because I saw the lineup and had never heard of the player before. It's a German player. I'm gonna look his name up right now, but he played Knauf, Ansgar Knauf.
That's a name and a half.
He scored against Stuttgart in the league the day before, off the bench. He's 19 years old. He's a bit older than Solis.
The thing with Solis is, if he went to Dortmund, that's one of the big clubs where he may get chances because they actually give ample opportunities to players like, remember Ousmane Dembele developed there.
So many. They've really got a reputation, to be fair to them.
So if he was to go Dortmund, like I'm not saying he would, but if there was a big club that would maybe give him that opportunity, why not? I think Dortmund are good at developing young players.
Well, it's almost time for the game. I almost said my local time, but nobody cares what time it is in Canada. It's almost time for the game, everyone. So we're gonna bid you adieu. We of course cannot have the game streaming here, but there's boatloads of places where you can watch it. A reminder: Nova Sports is doing a live stream, and Lambro and Costa are going to be on there. We are super excited for that. Non-Greek speaking me has not been allowed on the stream, of course, which is why I'm here. But
it's fine. I semi-speak Greek speaking Stephen isn't on there either.
But no, I mean, check that out. They'll be on talking about the game for the entirety of the game, sort of like a watch along. And I mean, it's going to be really, really exciting to see them on Nova Sports talking, in front of thousands of Greeks and Greek football fans. So, enjoy the game, everybody. It's probably about to start, so we don't want to, take anyone's time. But yeah, thanks everybody for tuning in, and we'll speak soon.
You just listened to an episode of the Gate 7 International Podcast, a podcast connecting Olympiakos fans from Brussels to Tokyo, from Toronto to Geneva. We are 4 Olympiakos fans from every corner of the world, bringing you news and interviews of the team you love in English. With new episodes twice a week, you'll never miss out on the latest updates and stories of the team you love. If you liked what you heard, make sure to follow us on social media at Gate7INTL, give us a subscribe on YouTube, or even leave a review on all our podcast channels. Until next time, this is our team, our city and our story. Θρύλος είσαι. Στο μυαλό κάτι μαγικό.